The only sheath that I have for my 12-inch tramontina is a piece of cardboard folded over, wrapped in black duct tape. And that works just fine for sticking it down into my backpack. But I really want a leather sheath. And the only piece of leather that I have is this piece of alum tan deer hide that's already been dyed with shoe dye. So the first thing I've got to do is get the hair off of it. I've got the process of removing the hair started. I've got the hide C-clamped in back to a piece of large underground water pipe. And I've been using the back side of my machete to scrape and to pull the membrane loose. And I've just been removing membrane a little by little. There's a piece. I've got to be careful, even though this machete is rounded over in the back and not sharp. I can still tear the hide if I pull hard enough. So it's going to be a long process. I found that if I cut the hair short with scissors, that the process goes better. I've got enough hair removed to make a sheath. I'll be back. This is the style sheath that I plan making. Top edge of the sheath rolls over and the handle fits deep into the sheath like this. I finished with the pattern and I've got the piece of hide cut. It's going to look something like this. This top portion will fold down and I've got this cut on an angle for a reason, and that's to help the blade start in easier. And the handle is going to come down to about right there. Now all of this is still oversized and I've got to do some final trimming before I sew it together. Deer hide is very flexible, almost like a piece of cloth. So I've got to add some rigidity to the leather to make it functional. I'll rub some hot beeswax to the interior. Folding this top down will add some rigidity. And when I sew it together, I'll put a thick leather welt here. And that'll add some structure to the stitch line. And hopefully all three of those together will make it rigid enough to be functional. Before the hot beeswax treatment, a piece from the same hide after the hot beeswax treatment. When you're trimming to the final dimension, it's critical that your edges stay in line. I've got the top portion of the sheath that's going to be visible dyed, and the dye has dried, and now it's time for the hot wax treatment. I've got my beeswax cut up in a little tin can, and I'm going to be heating it with a restricted airflow alcohol burner. I only want the wax to get hot enough to melt.